Good day, lords and ladies, and welcome to Rimworld Odyssey Far From Home. Due to the abrupt ending of my last Let's Play series, Rimworld Let's Play series, due to the release of Odyssey and 1.6, I have put together a quick mod list to test out Odyssey and some of its features, as I always do. This one is a lot smaller than Rimworld Medieval Underworld. Rimworld Medieval Underworld had like 400 mods and I had lots of issues with it, like mostly the lag. This has about 250 and works a lot better. I only have to wait like 12 minutes for it to load up rather than the 45 minutes compared to the old one. It's also a lot more on theme. And it's a playstyle I normally don't play in Rimworld, but I won't spoil it. A lot of the details of what goes into the mod pack will be there to find out. It will be very fun. But yes, and I was thinking to myself, what could we do for this playthrough? I normally don't get up to like advanced levels of tech in Rimworld. I stay around like the medieval layer or like industrial age. The sci-fi stuff for me, like, it becomes like you basically end up just fighting mechanoids, and that's about it. Or the Empire, which is a bit boring for it as well. So I normally don't play up to that level in my Let's Play series. This time, however, I thought what would be a really nice setting we could have, which lets us do sort of the sci-fi stuff, but at the same time keep it like the more gritty, down-to-earth style that I like. And I thought, what were the two sci-fi settings that really have, even though they're sci-fi, they're still considered to be sort of like gritty and like they're sort of futuristic, but it's almost sort of like post-futuristic where, yeah, you've got advanced technology, but it's still sort of, it's not like Star Trek with like its gleaming optimism. It's like gritty, not realism, but like negative view of what the future could be potentially. And so I was looking around and I thought, well, I really like Warhammer 40k, but there wasn't a lot of Warhammer 40k mods that are up to date for 1.6 yet. And I thought I can't really just do a 40k standalone thing because there's not enough content really for it. My go-to 40k mods are not up to date. But there were some 40k mods that were up to date, and I thought, well, let's have a sci-fi mashup. Let's do that classic sci-fi mashup versus battle of Warhammer 40k versus Star Wars. And so here we go, folks. Rimworld Odyssey Far From Home in a galaxy far, far away. We pick up with the Imperial Navy troop transport vessel Hercules, as it has coming ruptured out of warp space above a strange planet. The ship is in dire conditions. Things are rupturing on board. The captain and the bridge crew are panicking. They cannot find basically my brain's not working today. Basically, the Astrakhan, like the beacon, the glowing beacon of the Emperor's light on Tara. Like the navigator is freaking out, and the ship is breaking apart at the seams. Like the tech priests and the tech adepts are crying out from the engine room that the fusion reactors are overloading. And in this chaos, a sergeant and like a quickly hand-grabbed group of Imperial Guardsmen, because this was an Imperial troop transport set. One of the regiments on board was the Colonel 107th Light Foot Guard Regiment. And these five plucky individuals managed to grab a nearby tech adept and escape into these nearby sort of panic shuttles to basically like get down onto this strange planet below to try to survive, maybe conquer it for the Imperium of Man, maybe build a space station in orbit and try and contact the Imperium of Man to come and sort of help save them or just get the word out that this strange place full of Xenos and heretics lurks out here in the darkness of space. But there are strange things afoot upon this planet, and we shall tell their tale. Welcome, one and all, to Rimworld Odyssey, Far From Home. And I shall see you all as their lifeboats crash down through the atmosphere to the planet below. And welcome back, lords and ladies, to Rimworld Odyssey, Far From Home. Our ship has crash-landed upon this strange planet that we are calling Planet Prime. Well, working name, it's basically called, like, probably P1783 if Maria has her way. But welcome to our bunch of survivors. We have Sergeant Harvey, we have Medic Atty, or like Corpsman Atty, and we have three corporals. Like, Hunter and Fiona were part of Harvey's squad, and Irwin was part of third squad of their platoon, and they were having a general group meeting when the ship started to break apart in orbit. Harvey smartly grabbed a nearby tech priest, and they all managed to get down via escape pods, and escape sort of disintegrated on orbit to the world below. They now find themselves in a bit of a situation, because it's pretty cold, it's 1 degrees, they've crash-landed in the middle of nowhere, and they are going to have to try and survive. And to make matters worse, they are only armed with las rifles, which, unfortunately, after some bit of play testing by me, find that the game does not recognize as weapons you can do hunting with. So it's gonna get a bit interesting, considering that every time we use a las gun, things are gonna get a wee bit problematic, as you'll find out why. I normally don't run with this particular 40k mod. The mod that we are currently using, if we just quickly look at the gear for a second, is that's not going to tell us which mod it's done by. The MIM Warhammer 40k arms and Imperium. Basically, it's the MIM Warhammer 40k mods options. A very good mod list. Don't get me wrong. He's very talented, very talented, I should say. But one of the downsides is that their las guns work a bit differently to the las guns in another mod that I normally use for 40k stuff. So we're going to have to be a wee bit on our toes with it, because it is powerful, but at the same time, if we mess things up, we are going to get wrecked. So yeah, our ship has crashed, and we find ourselves in the unfortunate reality of we are very far from home. We have no connection to the light out the. I can always. It's the Astracon. Basically, the light of the Emperor is no longer with us. We don't have a navigator, which makes things very tricky to say the least. Because there's no way we're getting back through the warp route navigator. The Astronomicon. And so we basically have to figure out how we're going to survive on this strange world. Well, let's see what Planet Prime looks like. We have crash-landed. Tech Priest Maria had managed to get some readings out of the escape shuttle as it crashed down upon the planet. So we know that we are in a region that the computer has designated as the Choco mountain range. We're at the foot of the mountain range, basically. We're in the low hills. And yes, as you can see, we have some nice music playing. I might just turn it up for a second, so you guys can hear it a bit more. There you go. But, yes. Now just tweak it slightly so it's not so over-dominating. Yes. For those that are interested, this is music provided by the Woman for Decay. I think it's not called. It's 1 second. Let me just look up what it's called. It's not called Mechanicist. My brain is not working today. I do apologise. Blah blah blah. It's basically Tech Priest. It's a game where you play Tech Priests, fighting off the Necrons. So it's called. Oh no, it's Rogue Trader. Sorry, I thought I was playing a different one, but this is the music for Rogue Trader. Sorry, brain is not working today, folks. Must be all the impact from the hard landing. But we have landed in the Choco Mountain range, surrounded by these weird things. We've got like Sufferer's Lagoon. We've got Rivitas. We've got, like I say, we've got the factions. We've got Mandalores, Neo Crusaders, Vaheria, Cherskak Corporation, some kind of empire declaring themselves dominant in this region. All very scary stuff. And we've got some, let's just say, like we have a few factions on this planet we need to watch out for. So, and what a planet is. We've also got stuff both in deep orbit and in near orbit, which is terrifying. So if you ever want to try and get a signal out to the wider Imperium, we're going to need some help. But there are lots of strange aliens and Xenos and like lots of crystals and all kinds of things. Like we have no idea what any of this stuff does. All we know is that we've crash landed here in this region and we need to make the most of it. Now, that being said, there isn't a lot of actual fertile ground around. There's a bit up here that we may be able to use for our own usage. But the Tech Priest would probably suggest that we take over this structure as our initial base of operations. I mean, it's spring at the moment. Like, what's the growing period in the region that we're in? Actually, that's probably a good thing I should do. Before we go any further with our style, I need to find an easier way of locating us, because we are here and there's a lot of things around. So, I'm going to use a mod. I will say there are some mods in this game that I'm using that I haven't used before. So we're going to use this customization one. Faction icon. We're going to go for the Imperium, because we are the Imperium of Man. All in our golden greatness. So, now we should be able to find our base a lot easier. Fantastic. We are running with fluid ideology. We are the Coat Imperialis, basically the Coat of the Emperor. The Imperial Creed, yes, the Coat Imperialis. And I decided to go with fluid ideology because it's just, I find it more fun to play with. We still have all the main things like psychic horrible, torturing, respected guilty, don't care about peril, abhor the aliens, all that kind of good stuff. We can add more stuff that goes along. Some stuff, we do missionaries, tech priests, confessors. Some of this was forced upon us by like the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic mod. We have some nice bits, but it all comes up, and some other interesting bits here. But we will sell those off when they become apparent. So, for the time being, we need to figure out where we want to basically camp down. I'd really like to get somewhere near fertile ground, because I believe if we check on our region, the 1st of September to the 11th of April, May, so we only got not a massive time to grow stuff. So if we want to start growing, we need to start now. Okay, and because we've got Tech Priest, this does add stuff. So let's quickly look at all the pawns. We have Sergeant Harvey O'Connell. O'Connell. He is very good. He's good. He's reliable. He's all okay at shooting. He's better at melee. He's a bit of intellectual. He's a bit of social. But besides that, he's a guardsman. You've got Tech Priest Maria. Tech Priestess Maria. She's very good intellectual. She's good at melee, mining, construction, shooting. She's got patterns for it. But the downside of having a tech priest is that really she's not going to allow anybody else to look at information or knowledge besides her. We've got... I should probably rearrange the squad because I like going left to right. So, something like this. We've got our medic, our squad combat medic, Atty. Not bad at medicine. She's not gifted in it. She was just trained. She can do crafting, artistic, construction, suiting, bits and pieces. We've got Hunter, who is a corporal. Good at melee shooting, some bits of plant skill, a bit of animals, nothing particularly to go home about. We have Corporal Ponce, or Irwin as he prefers. Can shoot, can do some melee. He's okay at cooking, a little bit of intelligence. And then we have Corporal Fiona. Do a bit of mining, she's very good at animals. As you can see, like Podchild, they all come from some interesting backgrounds. Like Mira came from a Forge world, Harvey came from an Imperial world. These guys just like were country bumpkins, really. As was a lot of the normal guardsmen in the Kerno 107th Light Foot Guard Regiment. But let us not dally, because we do not have a lot of time. So, let us go, first of all, do we want to build a house or do we want to build shelters? We do have wooden canopy. Because I'd rather be up here near this fertile ground than, like, yes, we have like a nice wooden building, but if we're running back, stone building, if we're running backwards and forwards between it, it takes a lot of energy. But this is an easier defensible location. I mean, there's some really nice fertile soil up there. I mean, the thing we could do is we could build the initial structures here, like some wooden build, like lean-tos here, and then go backwards and forwards. It's not great. I mean, we have some fertile ground here as well. I mean, this area is nicely defendable as well. It's nearer the map edge, though. This nice area is like located in the center. I do not know where to go. Like, the thing is, like, if we go up here, we're near to water. We're near to fertile growing zone. I mean, it's not a long way to trade backwards and forwards. I mean, we're not going to be sleeping comfortably in these things, and it is cold. Probably what the sergeant would do is he would order the tech priest to secure as much of this structure as possible. Yeah, well, we could put a dumping space. I mean, fortunately, there is enough places we can dump stuff. Stockpile here. I mean, the thing is, I really like the idea of having these wooden structures up here so we could be next to, easily next to the growing zone, next to this. But, like, we've landed here. There is this structure that's relatively repairable. We're close enough to the growing zone up here, and we can just normally start growing stuff, like, in the open here anyway. It won't be as fast growing, but it'll still be something. We just need to start planting stuff as quickly as possible. Because we need to be starting to be making food supplies as much as possible. Let's throw down some rice to start off with. We've got the work tab set up. So I moved people around in the order. Okay. What people are comfortable doing? Yeah, no point doing your childcare. You're the only one going to be doing tech research, plant cutting, and growing is good. You two on construction. Yeah, let's get to it, shall we? So, you're going to eat a quick meal, and people get about the tasks. Because, like, we need to get things planted. We're doing sort of fast-ish speed early on. Predominantly because some of the other mods that I normally use for this are not available. Yeah. Chop this. Chop this, please. At least this building will give us some degree of reliability. They're getting stuff planted. We're getting stuff done. Excellent. But like they said, one of the rules for this is that if we do not have... Like, the tech priest is the only one that can do research, because he is the only one that's going to allow people to do research. He doesn't trust people. So we might be able to convince her that maybe, like, Cornwall is worth it. The others, maybe Erwin is worth having as like an apprentice, but as it stands right now, like we need to get ourselves secure. Okay, so temperature-wise, it is cold. It's not toasty outside. So we are going to throw down. Yeah, we'll do a basic fire. We do have. Yeah. Claim those. We'll basically have some tables put out. We have a fire there. We'll have... Let's put them along the side of the space here, so we can have like an improvised meal area. The guys can sit here and just get some work done. Well, not work, but they can sit together and eat and chat. No, it's not a great use of space, but it's better than nothing. Get that done. That's being hauled over. Yeah. Let's expand this zone to here. And we are going to put potatoes in. Unfortunately, I think, if I recall, none of us have planting 8, so we can't actually plant any heal root or anything like that to start off with. So that's going to get built. Get the fire going, please. We have a bit of warmth going on inside the room. The tech priest, like Maria, tech priest Maria, is probably going to start saying, well, this is primitive, like we need to have electricity, we need to have light. So he's probably going to demand quite early on that we have, like, the things of the Omnisire. So he's going to be wanting stuff like generators and that kind of stuff. We've got some steel ore. Let's have a quick look around. What is close by that we can take advantage of? Because I don't want to go too far from the base. So let's put an order in for a quick mine. I want enough steel just for us to basically get stuff done without destroying everything in the process. We do have some slates. Actually, there's steel here. We might be able to get enough what we need. What's this? A pile of junk. Pile of junk from centuries of irresponsible dumping. Mining, this can yield useful materials but careless thrown away, or it could yield a stack of waste packs. Yeah. So we got... This planet is like just like an absolute pigsty. That being said, let's see if there's anything half decent nearby of interest. We've got what looks like to be ruins, like polluted ruins nearby. We've got... Ooh, that's a nice, cool landmark. Basin. Lots of caves, lots of fishing. Interesting. But that's just the ones that are nearby. The world is chock full of things to explore. Not that we're close to a lot of them, but we are close to this, what we consider to be like a main artery road that goes across this continent. So if we want to, and we can get vehicles built, we can rapidly relocate to a new location. There's also the threat of Xenos, which is terrifying. Okay, they need sleeping sites. So for the time being, we're going to throw down some sleeping spots near the fire. Okay. But like this is... We need to basically get things going. Because like we haven't got a ton of food. We've only got a little bit of supplies. Yeah, and we have to think about stuff like hygiene. So... let's do that. Get that in place. Tech Priest is working hard. Inside this bubble is warm. I do have the Radiant Heat mod, so it means that around this bubble we have like a pocket of heat. Outside of it, the temperature is going to dip. Okay. Gives them a table to eat at. Okay, we get that built. Ooh, swan, very nice. How does our water area? Ooh, we've got an apps like it's not great for water. I'm not going to lie. I don't want traipsing like constantly all over the place to get it. So let's throw down a little bit of the... Like, how's our wood situation looking? We're okay for wood. Let's put a couple of basins down. So we have basic water, basic hygiene. But the Tech Priestess is not going to be happy about this. This is like being basically a bit like a Luddite. It is something that's very primitive, and he is not happy. Okay, so like doing a bit of mining, getting some components. Mood is not going to be great, yeah, because we're missing uniform for genotype. But yeah, we need to basically get ourselves into a bit of a better situation. So we got some basic crops going here and here. It's not great. Let's turn on. Okay, where is the fertile soils mod? Here we go. So the areas where it is fertile are all well out of our range. There's up here, there's here. There's a bit here that I might go and plant, to be honest, because like the more growing we can get done, like the main problem the sergeant has is that he's concerned that they're all going to basically end up starving to death. And the Tech Priest is not great for, you know, sympathy and human compassion. So we need to basically get stuff in place. Like, the tech priest is happy with like a nutrient paste dispenser, but let's just check what the Imperial Creed says. I don't like it. I didn't go too hard with my initial things, just so we give a bit of flavour. I mean, to be honest, if we can make simple meals, it would be for the better. But I think what we're going to do, this is going to be a temporary living area. This is going to be like a temporary living area for what we plan to do next. So we're going to deconstruct the sarcophagi, turn this back room area into a barracks. I may even do something like brick up this back door. Like brick up this back door, like throw down a destruction order on these stones. Ooh, interesting. But yeah, like, this is probably going to be temporary. What I'd like to do... Ooh, news of war. After several domestic incidences, Ward, Karjadik, and Feheria have become hostile to each other. Well, we don't know who those factions are, but maybe pick up some loose radio chatter. That's probably what it is. Like, we have radios. We know what's going on. Like, we know we're not alone on this planet. So we have to take steps to defend ourselves. This is a nice choke point. This is a nice choke point. This building is probably going to be very just temporary. This area, I may want to basically try and like hold up in this area. Like I said, we may not even stay in this space long term. This region long term. We may get vehicles and decide, yeah, we're going to relocate. Maybe take over someone else's base. Who knows? Okay. What it is, I want to basically get... I do love the Road Trader soundtrack. I want to basically get as much basic resources planted as we can, because we have a very limited grow time. So... we need to basically have ourselves sorted in good order. They're ripping this down for steel. Fantastic. We get a little bit out of it, but it's all good in the hood. So get some of this stuff planted up. More rice. It doesn't have to be nice meals, it has to be simple meals. And I know it's like, oh yeah, the Imperial Guard will eat paste. Like, they will eat paste, but like the 107th Light Foot Guard Regiment from the planet Kerno may want to have something a bit different. Like the first time they've been on solid soil for a while, our morale is a bit like hit and miss. So it's probably a good idea just to try. The sergeant knows that his people are not in a good state. So he's probably thinking to himself, like, how can I improve the situation? We're probably going to drop some chopped trees as well, get ourselves some medicinal materials to keep the fire going, that kind of thing. Get some materials harvested, components. Yeah, let's get a basic barrack set up in this room. So we have we have sort of like the storeroom and sort of eating room, and here we'll have the barracks set backwards in here, out of the way. Yeah, let's get some simple talks. Like, this is probably really annoying the tech priestess. Because it's like, oh, like, yeah, wooden lamp, like wooden torches and like wooden fires. Like, she would not be happy. That's for sure. But as long as we can keep the fire going and some other bits and pieces, that's all good. Yeah, so she's moving stuff about. We're getting a fairly good speed out of our people. Okay. So, temperature-wise... Yeah, let's get... Because of how I have the temperature working here, it's like radiant heat. Beyond it, it's going to drop. Let's get... Yeah. A basic fire going here, please. How much wood do we have? 400. Okay. Yeah, let's throw some beds down. Well, let's get the fire built first. We have the guard moving around. Yeah, I do have the stack mod just because it makes it easier. I find vanilla base game stacking, like, you only have 75 things in a stack. So I put it up to 750. This means that when we have lots of resources, which we're going to need, it's more easily stacked away. I can tweak it if we need to, but yeah. So they're all sleeping. Okay. So once this is lit, the temperature is going to be in this room fairly maintained in this area. Okay. So I'm going to do wooden beds. For the time being, we just want to try and keep it as simple as possible. So we're going to do loft beds. Yeah. Turn it into a basic barracks. Some basic things to keep them happy. So like some ice. Yeah, so they do it like that. Problem is, like, let's just get some beds done. Let's not get too fancy with anything else. One thing I do want to do is I want to do the wooden standing racks for our armors, because we have no easy way of replenishing our Imperial Guard gear. And as a result, yes, we can't keep it on for ages, because otherwise, if stuff gets damaged or the like, we are in trouble. We've really chewed through our provisions, and it's cold outside, very cold. Okay. Yeah, -2. So our crops are not going to be growing great. Chase deserter. Nope. Like, why would we care? And like, plus getting on the side of some good. Like, we'd probably say, oh, they talk about the Empire. We talked to them. Before anybody asks, I did intend to have the Empire in this as the Star Wars Empire, and there are a couple of mods that turn the Deserters and the Empire into the Rebels and the Empire from Star Wars, but when I had them turned on, they caused an absolute boatload of errors in the mod list. I don't know what it is. I don't know if there's problems with like the base like framework mod that they were relying upon, but it caused real problems. And it is now snowing, which is fantastic, because like I need our plants to grow properly, and this is not it. So they are right about the defenses. Get that nice toasty in there, please. So, let me just quickly set this up, because this is going to take me a second to do. So, I have set it up that, so when they take off their armor, in theory, we try it with the good sergeant here, when he drops his flak armor and his helmet. It should be when we allow it. So, when we allow this things here, and we go priority haul the gear. 1 second. This should be normal. This would be critical. Oh. No, put the armor on the rack, please. Senior officer, full armor. So I had to remember, like, the problem is we've got a lot of, like, things here, and it's just a bit... Like, this should be critical. Flak arming the command. It should be command squad. Oh. That's why. Okay. So. Give me a second. Like I said, like, this takes a moment to get everything sorted out. Like, I got a lot of stuff running with this, and I wanted to try out the new items. So let's just flak helmet. Turn that off. You don't get that because that's just for the sergeant. So let's okay. Force. Force wear the armor. I mean, the armor is very good. Let's not lie. Like, I like this armor a lot. It's a nice Imperial Guard stuff. I will say, unfortunately, I couldn't get dual wield to working. It's just the modern question is not permitting it to work at the moment. Okay, so yeah, there we go. So before we end the session today, you three are going to come in. You're all going to drop your gear, and we're going to put it on the racks just so that it doesn't degrade. We need the armor, to be honest. We need it to be basically serviceable for our needs as members of the Guard. And yes, I do know that currently they're called the Astra Militarum. Like, if you basically buying stuff that's called the Astra Militarum now, no longer the Imperial Guard. But I like the old law for it. I liked it when they were called the Imperial Guard, not the Astra Militarum, because it was just basically for copyright purposes in my mind. So there we go. All spanky on the stand. Beautiful. So I'm basically just going to call back to calling the Imperial Guard because I like it. Because I used to play them back in the day. But yes, so that's done. Home zone. Yes, but I don't care about sweeping up the home zone, please. Just focus on doing the planting and the like. Okay, so we got a bit of downtime. We're getting to the end of the first episode. Let's put down a wooden horseshoe outside for wreck. We do have a dartboard we can set up in the barracks. Actually, we can probably put it somewhere a bit nicer. Let's put it here. Gives them a bit of variety. And, yeah. There we go. So we get some stuff down there. A bit of recreation variety. The game's saying we do need defenses, which is true. It's an awful barracks. Get those things built. Failed to use precious resources we do not have. We need to cut down wood. We need to get stuff done. Tech priests. Okay. Our colony wealth is already 30,000, but that's mostly just item wealth. So we just have to be careful of that. Okay. So yeah. Get this chessboard done. We'll have a bit of entertainment lined up. Get some bits and pieces done. Yeah. Get the dartboard made. Get the horseshoe made. Get the chessboard made. So we've managed to survive our initial crash landing on the planet. But it looks grim. Our food supplies are not great. It is very cold, so our crops are going to take a while to come in. And you guys will see soon enough that if we try and go hunting with lasguns, it's going to get really interesting. But that's the next time, folks. I've been Cornish-Knight. This has been Rimworld Odyssey, Far From Home. And I shall see you all next time with maybe the only survivors of the Imperial Navy Troops Transport Ship Hercules. But we shall see you again soon. Goodbye.